Okay, so today we're going to be adding and subtracting decimals, but we're going to be using the standard algorithm and not the model. These numbers are a little bit too challenging to use the model with. So let's take a look at the first problem right here. Right here, we have 19 and 3/10 right here, and then we're adding it to 159 and 487 thousandths. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do when we're adding decimals or subtracting them is we want to line up the numbers by the decimal point. Okay, so here's what I mean by that. So first, I'm going to write 19 and 3/10, and then I'm going to write the decimal point first for the second number, for this right here. Okay, and 159 is going to go over here on the whole number side. So notice that everything is lined up. The 9 in the ones place, the 9 in the ones place, the tens are lined up, and the hundreds are lined up, and there's no hundreds up here, okay? Over here, we have 4/10, and that's going to line up with the 3/10 in the 19 and 3/10. We have 800ths, and we have 7,000ths right there, okay? So, now you're going to notice this problem looks really awkward. So what I like to do is I like to add zeros or just write zeros right here to fill in the gaps. This is going to be really important when we do subtraction, so you might as well get in the habit right there. Some people even like to put zeros in the front right there. So before you do anything else, make sure you drop down that decimal point. A lot of kids forget to do that, so I recommend you do it right now. Make it nice and big, and so you don't have to worry about that for the rest of the problem. And then we're going to add starting from the smallest place value, so starting from the furthest to the right from the thousands. So 7 and 0 thousandths makes just 7 thousandths. 8 and 0 hundredths makes 8 hundredths. 4 and 3/10 makes 7/10. So far we haven't had to regroup, so that's pretty nice. 9 ones and 9 ones makes 18. So 8, regroup 10 over here. And then we have 50 plus 10 plus 10, which makes 70. And so our final sum is 78 and 787 thousandths. Okay? Now for subtraction over here, we're going to follow the same exact strategy. You're going to start with writing the number down. So we have 72 hundredths, and we're subtracting 0 and 78 thousandths right here. Okay, so same strategy as before. We're going to write the first number on top. This is subtraction, so order doesn't matter. The first number you see will go on top when we're writing it vertically. And then the next number, we're going to line everything up perfectly, okay? So there's 0 ones, and here's our decimal point. There's 0 tenths, so make sure you put a 0 there. There's 7 hundredths right here, so put that beneath the 2 hundredths and 72 hundredths. And then there's 8 thousandths right here. Okay, so now notice there's nothing here, and a big mistake that students make when doing this kind of math is they'll just go, oh, it's nothing, take away 8, so I'm just going to put 8 right here. That's actually not quite right because there's actually a 0 right here, and if you guys remember from, I don't know, 3rd, 4th grade math, that you can't subtract 8 from nothing, so we have to regroup, okay? So let me erase this 8 right here. And so now we have to regroup, okay? So we're going to regroup from the hundredths right here. So we're going to take away 100th, so we're left with 100th, and that 100th becomes 10 thousandths over here, okay? So now those 10 thousandths take away 8 thousandths gives us 2 thousandths. Oh, I almost forgot to put the decimal point first. See, I forget too sometimes. So we have 10 thousandths, take away 8 thousandths, we'll get 2,000. And then right here, once again, we have to regroup. You guys have to slow down with your subtraction and always ask, do I need to regroup or do I not need to regroup? And we do need to regroup. We can't subtract 7 from 1, 7 hundredths from 100th, so we're going to regroup. We're going to take 1/10 away from 7/10 right here, so we're left with 6/10. And now up here, we're going to have the 10/10 that we took from here, we're going to add to that 1/10 we have here. And so now we have 11/10. And now we can do 11 hundredths, take away 7 hundredths, and we're left with 4 hundredths. And then here, we can take away nothing from 6. So 6 take away 0 is going to give us 6/10ths. And then over here, this is just going to be a 0. And so our final difference is 642 thousandths. So you can see subtraction, a little bit trickier than addition. Alright, so let's try this final problem. And these problems kind of mirror the ones that are in your Monday worksheet. So they're not the exact same numbers, but they're similar to them. So if you kind of watch this video really carefully, you pause and replay, then you should be able to do those problems on your own. And before we start this problem, guys, make sure you're showing your work, okay? We know you're at home. We know you can just grab a calculator, grab your phone, and find the answer like in 2 seconds flat. That's not the goal of this activity. The goal of this activity is for you to practice the skills that are behind this math, okay? So we expect to see your work on these problems. If you just write down an answer, that's basically the same as doing nothing, all right? All right, so here we have 362, no decimal, subtracting 439 thousandths. Okay? So this one's really tricky because look at this. We have a whole number here, no decimal, but hopefully you guys remember that whole numbers do have a decimal point. They're just written after the ones place right there. So 362 can be written with a decimal point at the end. It looks awkward, but we'll fix it up in a second. Okay? Now each of these pieces needs to be lined up with the places beneath the 362. So we have zero ones over here. That goes beneath the 2. Decimal point. And we have 4/10ths. Notice there's nothing up here. We have 300ths. And then we have 9 thousandths. And then we're going to subtract. So this problem looks really strange. So this is why I really recommend that you fill in these gaps with zeros right here. So 0, 0, 0. You can put zeros over here too if you like. Now, this is going to take a ton of regrouping. Okay, guys, see all these zeros right here? This is where it gets really fun. So we can't subtract 9 from nothing. Okay, so we're going to have to regroup, and there's nothing here to regroup from, nothing here to regroup from. So we're going to take away one whole from here, so we're left with one whole. And then that one whole is going to become 10/10ths. Okay, and then from those tenths, we're going to take away one of those tenths, and we're going to rename this. So now we have 9/10ths left, and then we're going to have 10/100ths, okay? And then from these 10/100ths, we're going to grab one of those hundredths, so now we have 9/100ths left, and then we're going to rename that 1/100th into 10 thousandths. So if your mind is mush and melted right now, don't join the party. My brain is completely melted coming out of my ears right now. So now we have 10 thousandths take away 9 thousandths. That gives us one. I almost forgot decimal again. Gotta remember that, guys. So 10 thousandths take away 9 thousandths gives us 1,000. 900ths take away 300ths gives us 600ths. And then 9 tenths take away 4/10ths gives us 5/10ths. And over here, thank goodness we don't have to regroup anymore. It's just 1 take away 0, 6 take away 0, and 3 take away 0. So our final difference is 361 and 561 thousandths. So be careful with the subtraction, guys. If you need any help, you know how to reach me, and good luck.